The Gamasutra Job board is the most diverse, active and established board of its kind for the video game industry. Here is just one of the many positions being advertised right now. Location: Madison, Wisconsin. Fantasy Flight Interactive is the video game development studio for Fantasy Flight games, a world-class creator of role-playing, board and card games. We are expanding to create new games and share them with the world at large. Specifically, we are looking for an art director who will be responsible for the visual quality of our games and maintaining high-quality visual consistency in all aspects of the games we develop. This role has a specific focus on the technical aspects of art content creation, but we'll expect you to have a strong personal aesthetic sense as well. You will work closely with the studio head, creative directors, producers and development teams to commission, develop and implement art, animation, UI, and each visual component of each game we make across multiple teams. You will work with the art directors at our partner studios to set the standards, perform due diligence, and make sure the games they are crafting meets our high expectations. You will be the gatekeeper for every visual item that is checked into each game and the person responsible for making sure they are uniformly great before the final release and into live operations. Essential functions: application experience, minimum qualifications, preferred qualifications. Interested? Apply now. Whether you are just starting out, looking for something new, or just seeing what's out there, the Gamasutra Job board is the place where game developers move ahead in their careers. Gamasutra Job board is the most diverse, most active, and most established board of its kind in the video game industry, serving companies of all sizes, from indie to AAA. Looking for a new job? Get started here. Are you a recruiter looking for talent? Post jobs here. For the past few months, I have been researching several different games. During that time, I have been researching games like Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us, made by Naughty Dog. With this article, I want to share my knowledge with my fellow peers, in the hope of empowering and motivating them to learn more about level design. This will be a crash course on the different elements of level flow that level designers can use to make informed decisions about their level design. My definition of level flow: when the player knows what to do, where to go, but not always know how to get towards that goal. Keyword: spatial awareness. It is a state where the player has a pleasant experience traversing through the level. It goes hand in hand with game flow. This definition is quite vague, and that is because level flow is a broad subject. For simplicity, I will split up level flow into four smaller pieces. In high-level terms, these are some of the elements where level designers use to guide the player. I need to know about geometry and composition. But I am not an artist. Yes, I am also not an artist, but I do believe that everything is in some way intertwined with level design. Mastering small bits about these subjects will allow you to make more informed design decisions. Geometry, composition, scripted events, storytelling. Geometry, composition and scripted events can be combined to create storytelling elements. Being able to master these sections will allow you to move the player to wherever you design them to go. Here are some examples of flow elements that can be used to guide the player through the level: lines, arrows shape silhouettes, pathways. Lines have 2 points, a begin and an end point. A line affords direction. It is a 2D object that moves in a direction. We can see lines as arrows and rules afford direction. In this example, Multiple objects in the scene will hint towards this focal point. The meta structure. As you can see, lines are powerful tools to indicate direction. They help to guide the player's eye from A to B and vice versa. Landmark definition. An object or feature of a landscape, a town, that is easily seen and recognized from a distance, especially one that enables the player to establish their location on the map. Landmarks can be used to determine someone's location approximately from the landmark. Therefore, it is a method to improve flow in the level. An exceptional level designer would work together with the environment artists to make sure that each area is recognizable. They should work together to determine the line of sight and the visual language of the area. In this example, Joel will be able to see the bridge from multiple angles. This allows the level designer to create a level that does not go into a linear straight direction, as walking straight towards the objective is bordering on nothing. The high buildings on the side also helps to frame the bridge, funneling the player towards the objective. The only indication the player needs to know is how far away they are from the bridge. If they are approaching closer to the bridge, they can assume that they are going towards the right direction. Using color as affordance. Color can be used to indicate the player that a certain object is able to afford something. It can be used to contrast the scene, shifting the focal point. In this example, all reachable climbable ledges have this light yellowish color casted on them, informing the player that those afford to be great climbed. This is a clever way to indicate something to the player without it breaking the immersion. By blending in with the cliffs, using the same earthly tones, bright shades of red and yellow might indicate danger, while the blue color let them think about water, the sky, calmness or peace. Repetition is beautiful as humans can see patterns. Nature is built up out of patterns and will of it. But when you repeat it too often, it becomes boring. You can compare it to listening to the same song 100 times. At first you might like the song, although after repeatedly listening to it, you might come to hate it. This problem is also true in level environment design. Do not let the player traverse through areas that all look the same. What is the point of exploring if everything looks the same? You can keep it look coherent, but be sure to have a bit of variation. As mentioned in the previous point, color is a nice way to break up the monotone feel of a scene and to attract the player's attention. In a static scene, movement will catch the player's eyes. When characters or objects move from one position to another position, they create a line. See example 2.1. As I mentioned previously, a line indicates direction. We can use a dynamic element to guide the player through the level, creating flow, video by dop scamming. Do you know the way? In this example, Nathan breaks out of prison with two of his comrades. In this action-packed scene, your goal is to escape the prison. The player can experience this scene as stressful and rushed. You are not prepared for this. You do not even know the layout of the prison and now you have to make a break for it. During this moment, the player does not want to constantly think about where they need to go and accidentally get lost. This is where the two side characters take it over and guide you through the scene. I do not know where to go. Guess I followed everyone else. This is another example of movement being used. Similar to the previous example, the player is confronted with a high-intensive experience, where, yet again, the goal is to escape from the mess you are in. Video by The Red Bread, Fragment 10:30-13:30. In all the chaos you do not know where to go, so you follow the crowd. Wherever they go, you will follow. Your only goal is to get out and keep very safe. The crowd is moved by, seemingly, uncontrollable events in the scene. An exploding car would drive the crowd to the opposite direction, towards safety. It does not have to be complicated. The previous two examples requires the developers to create with a behavior system. Although that could be really cool, it's also complicated. Video by IFreeMz. Fragment 42, 18 to 42, 30. The subtle tumbleweed rolling in a certain direction. In this example, a swan flying away into the distance. It tells you to keep moving in that direction. The easiest noticeable storytelling elements are, you can make patterns or create contrast to highlight an object. Due to how the tank is angled 45 degrees, it naturally guides the player towards the left side.